Hello, everybody. Welcome to the Hero Tones podcast. Master your English. My name is Bart. I'm Polish native speaker.
My name's Adam. I'm a native English speaker and also education facilitator, so a TEFL teacher. And Bart's one of my students, and this is our podcast. Bit of a different intro today.
Yeah, exactly. So, welcome again. And today, our topic will be an education.
Yeah, the education system, but we're not going to focus too much on early stage education. We're going to talk about lifelong education as an adult, as a young adult, as an older adult potentially. But briefly, we want to start with the school system and how they compare. So, Bart's from Poland, I'm from the UK. So, what is the education? Let's put an age limit on this. So, when you're until 18 years old, what's the education system look like in Poland?
So, education system, how it looks like. Basically, you are learning the things that you are not using in the adult life.
Okay, that
So
applies with the
that's,
British school also.
Yeah, you are wasting some time in the school time,
Yeah.
but that generally looks like that, unfortunately,
Okay.
because teachers are not directly with the businesses that people are branching to in the future. So you are learning the things from the people who have no idea how it works in the businesses to which you will apply in the future.
Yeah, so it's like functional skills, you would say, functional skills. Like the first thing that you learn when you wanted to learn English, you're not learning high level work English, you're learning functional English. Hello, goodbye, how are you? It's basic, what you can use out there, but you're not, but you're doing it for a reason. But when they teach you at school, they teach you all these different topics and you forget most of them.
Exactly. Okay, we can talk about English because that's also an interesting topic, how it looks like in Poland. I think that after my school journey, I wasn't able to speak at all.
So this is your journey to learn English a little bit now. So it's a little bit. Okay.
And I mean, most of people have problem like I. And they started learning when they finished the school. That's how I did also. The best people in our class was in English was the people who attend to the extra lessons during the school time.
Yeah.
They have English teacher and they were good with it. Other people,
not so lucky. Not so lucky. Some other people, because I think it's expensive learning a language as well. So
it is, but it is beneficial also.
You're investing in yourself. Yeah, you're not investing in something. You're investing in yourself. That's the best kind of investment sometimes. Also, like when you travel, you learn English, but we talked about that in a different topic. But I think the educational system in England is very similar to Poland, especially during you're obviously a little bit younger than me, but I'm not way older than Bart, but he's a little bit younger than me, and the educational system is probably still similar in his years than it was in my years. It's very similar. Now I think it's progressed a lot due to AI, the internet, lots of different things. But when you could say me and Bart were at school, you're a square shape and they try to force you into a circle hole. So if you don't follow the curriculum and you're not getting the correct grades, you get punished for that a little bit and you can get removed from classes to go to lower classes where you learn less. But the stuff you're learning, it's not functional stuff and it's stuff that you're probably not very interested in. And I think that changes when you get older, because when you're 18, this isn't what happens, but roughly what happens. When you're 18, the door closes of your educational journey for some people, and you're out into the real world. You don't have many functional skills. You don't really have a direction in life.
Nothing, totally nothing.
And some of you don't know. What I was going to say is some people, when you ask them when they're a kid, when they're looking up at you and they're really small, the size of your knee, and they say, what do you want to do when you're older, Dad? I want to be a policeman, I want to be a doctor. They know what they want to do and they do it. I want to be a vet. Whereas I was one of them people, like the many, I didn't know what I wanted to do. I wanted to play out on my bike and I wanted to go to run and I wanted to be a kid. I didn't really have a goal in life, what I wanted to do as a career. So when this door shuts at 18, I was pretty much in a similar position. I didn't know what I wanted to do. I had to find my feet, you would say. I had to find my balance. And that's where the lifelong journey of self-development and professional development and life skills becomes important. Who your friends are, what you learn. So what can you say about that? I mean,
Yeah,
like,
but now you
similar
have
thing.
possibility to learn from YouTube, and a lot of people are learning from YouTube different topics.
Yeah,
And
that's true.
I mean,
TV.
started from the basic ones. When I finished school, I didn't know how taxes work, how to rent a flat, how to cook a dinner, how to make a proper interview, for example, when you want to find a job.
How to make a CV.
Yeah, exactly. That's really important.
Most people don't know how to do that now. So, but that's from fear of trying to change or doing something new. Because when you're not good at something, you don't have a lot of confidence in this. But the more you do it, the better you get. So it's like self-fulfilling prophecy. But if you don't start the journey, you're never gonna get to any destination. So that's like what the problem with CVs are sometimes for people. Yeah. And sometimes they don't. When you're starting off in new companies, like you work for quite a large company, don't you? Like a software company. Mm-hmm. We won't mention a name, but sometimes if it's your first job, for example, and you want to come in at a lower level, and you could feel quite intimidated applying for this job, because what experience would someone of maybe 10 years younger than you, or maybe 8 years younger than you, they wouldn't have any experience. Yeah, but they do have experience, but it's how you sell yourself on your CV. So an employer, if they've got half a brain inside them, can look at it and think, well, he's no professional qualifications because he's new to the job. So he doesn't have 2 years experience of coding, doing this, but he's on time. He can do this. He's got confidence in himself. So everybody's got strong points, what they can put on a CV, but it's the fear of looking for them to write down sometimes. So CVs are a struggling point for a lot of people.
And some recruiters can think that, you forgot to fill some field regarding your previous experience because you don't have
any. So like, how do you get on the ladder? That's like one of the biggest things in life. But you do it by confidence, and you do it by like how you come across. That's why I still think physical interviews are the best, because if you have Skype interviews, you don't get a feeling of how someone really is. Yeah, exactly. You know, physical interviews, that's the way we connect with each other, eye contact and, you know, body language, things like that.
But in the industry which I work, which is IT, it's unusual already. Nobody's
physical interviews. Yeah. Well, you're judged on your work as well. I mean, like, you're not judged on you can be judged on your physical appearance, but it's not one of the criterion for getting a job. So it's what you can do. You know, it doesn't matter how fast you can run.
You see how people behave, if they are stressed or not, how they behave for the question that they have no answer for.
That's where AI comes in.
Yeah.
So there's videos on YouTube and Instagram on different accounts, won't mention them, and it shows you how you can fake your interview for any job. I could do your job technically online. I could make my CV like yours, even though I have no educational background in this, and I could have AI answering me live questions. And I could probably secure your job. I wouldn't be any good at this job, and I'd get fired after a day. But it shows you what the potential is, and you can't do that.
You could better sell yourself for the.
Yeah, probably confidence, this and this. But I can't do the job, so you get found out. I'm trying to say, so you can fake it, but then when you do make it. You fall.
Fake it till you make it.
But when you do make it, there's nothing there. Yeah. There's no substance there. You know.
But you will sit there like 2 months. Nobody will see.
Maybe.
I'm new. I'm just learning new things. Give me some time.
That's your experience.
But you are here 10 years.
Yeah, you've been here 10 years, Bob. What happens? Like, I just make the coffee. No one tells me anything. No one tells me nothing. Yeah. So that's like the start of the education. So then this is like self-development, you would say.
Yeah, let's mention something about teachers also, because I would say that...
so this is from school?
From school, yeah.
Okay, because there's lots of different types of teachers.
Yeah, I have really weird teachers and also really good teachers.
I hope not too weird. Do you want to share? He wants to share a confession. He wants to share some confessions there. This one time in band camp, like American Pie, you know, this happened. No.
Yeah, I had a lot of situations that teachers could tell to the students that you will achieve nothing in your life, and sentences like that. And from the time perspective, I'm learning from it. But when you are in the class and somebody directly say some sentence like this for you, it can mentally destroy you.
Yeah,
you can lose your motivation.
Yeah. I I had quite a difficult upbringing educationally, different schools. Won't go into too many details, but I always remember my mum and dad came back from a parents' evening where the teachers basically tell stories about you, how good you were, but mine was how bad I was. And I remember we still talk about it, we still laugh about it now as a family. My mum and father got told that I would be better off quitting school and working on a farm because that's all I'll be ever good at is baling hay and working manually in the field. They said he will never amount to anything. That's what they told me. And that was how teachers literally felt about teaching me and probably many other students. They're to me, are not educational facilitators and they have no place to be in anywhere near children or in a school. I think they wouldn't have any place in a prison service. They wouldn't have any place in any walk of life with that kind of attitude. Yeah. So, and they're obviously wrong and their prophecy didn't fulfill itself.
Most of them are also burnt out.
That's burnt out. But no matter how burnt out you are, you don't need to take it out on the kids.
Yeah, that's still your job.
It's your job, ultimately. What you signed up for is to facilitate educational needs. That's what a teacher does. In any way possible. Whether you learn it in a textbook or you learn it in life, you just facilitate a young person to get better. That's all you're doing.
Exactly. But I have also a lot of good teachers which motivate me, which I waited for lesson with them.
Yeah, you were looking forward to this. You were looking forward to it, you would say.
And I have contact also now with some of them.
That's nice. Mine wasn't quite that good. But they do remember me. I left my mark on these schools. They remember me definitely. But I'm not friends with any of my teachers now. I've got family members that are teachers, and they seem to enjoy it. But I think, like you said, so school, teaching. But what happens when you get older and you don't have a teacher? So how do you learn?
And that's interesting because a lot of people, they are finished secondary school, for example, and they stop learning, which is not good. To not use worst word. But how I do it, I try to find a mentor who will teach me something. Okay. In every part of my life, I would say. When I train something, I won't say that I have personal trainer for everything that I'm doing because it's costless.
It's very expensive.
It's very expensive. But I joined to the group with other people which we work together, and I have like one mentor in a case, for example, of gym or of something else, and these people show me how to do some things properly. Also, you as my English teacher, I started learning English for my own, but it wasn't able to have a level like I have right now.
It's unlocking different things, isn't it?
And when you have set that in your calendar, specific specific time in specific day, you will be in this lesson. Sometimes when I wanted to learn for my own, I was too tired to do it, and I said, okay, I will do it tomorrow. I leave it, and I for sure didn't do it tomorrow. But if I have like scheduled a lesson, I'm every time on this time, and I need to learn. And sometimes I'm tired on these lessons, but I'm still there, and I remember something. That's impossible to not remember anything from the learning.
Yeah, no, it's important to set the schedule and things like this. But like you said, I picked up on a couple of things there, what Bart was talking about. So you mentioned like community. So you wanted to learn some Muay Thai, for example. Yeah. So you get a mentor. You can only learn so much off YouTube with a punch bag. But you found a small little community of all different levels in this community. So you have the trainer, the main guy at the top, the mentor, the CEO, whatever you want to call them. And then you have all the different levels and belts. So that's good that there's a grading system. And you can learn off different people. So you could learn off a black belt, for example, or a green belt. There's no belts
in this type of sport.
Yeah. So in kickboxing, for example, there's belts. So in yours, there's just different levels of proficiency probably and experience. But you can learn from a newbie who's quite good at fighting on the street, for example, and you can learn from the instructor. You can learn from different levels, but ultimately you're all in one community. You arrive, you take your shoes off, everything's really respectful, but you're all there to learn one thing, and it's to get better, whether it's at golf, boxing, IT, programming, music, anything. You're all there in one community to be humble, get better, learn from the main guy, but also learn from each other. And it's hard to do that in life, but that's why people go to networking meetings as adults, because it's not like they don't know what they're doing in life. They just want to see other people's perspectives on life. Like, how do you run your business? How do you do this? What would you do? And you have a few drinks, you have something to eat. That's why adult networking meetings are good. And there's lots of things you do it at the gym, but you're stronger together most of the time. Humans are stronger together.
And I'm paying for this to have like sometimes individual lessons. Which is really important, and I heard from people that I can't, for example, learn English with the teacher directly or train something with the personal trainer because I have no money. But the same people can buy like 3 kebabs or something, and this is the same price.
It all comes down to priorities, you know. Yeah. I mean, how much are a pack of cigarettes now in Poland?
Yeah, exactly.
You know, and they're really expensive. But in the UK, they're a joke. Do you know, like I think they're like 50 zloty or £10 roughly per packet for 20. So, I mean, that's like half an hour's personal training. Exactly. You know, that's half an English lesson. That is half of or a full amount of something. Personal development that you can make money from and get better from. You know, and it all comes down to priorities. Like, we're not here to judge people on what they're spending money on, but personal progression and development can be free. Most of the time it's free. As long as you're structured with it and you have
everything is free already.
Of course it is.
If you know how to use Google, but that's not the point here.
And what I would like to comment on is when there's also a saying, a British saying that, it's a worldwide saying, universal, that practice makes perfect.
Yeah.
But it's actually incorrect. So you would say perfect practice makes perfect, because if you learn something wrong from the start, or you're learning it for the wrong reason, like, there's no point to it. You need to learn the perfect way. So if you wanted to do your job, which is software things, software programming, there's a certain ladder that you would follow if you wanted to be such a thing. There's a certain ladder, a pathway you would follow.
Yeah, it is quite boring.
So it is boring, but there's a structured way to do it. Yeah. But you wouldn't start with Python if you wanted to go to this. You wouldn't start with this language if you wanted to change to this, because maybe they don't work together very well and you have no need for them.
The same with running. If you didn't run whole life, you won't run a marathon in next day.
Exactly. Why would I trail run if I wanted to get better at track running 5 kilometres? It has no correlation. Yes, it's still running. Yes, one will make you better at running. But if you want to get better specifically at something, then focus specifically on that thing. But it's finding what you're good at in life sometimes. And like I said, some little kids know what they want to be. Some little kids don't have a clue what they want to be.
Other kids want to be influencers.
Yeah. And in different cultures, I mean, I think I'm speaking from experience from where I'm from in the UK. People don't get pushed a lot, you would say. They don't get pushed by their parents a lot. You're kind of like left to your own devices to find your own feet. But I've got friends from different parts of the UK that when I were playing out on my bike on a Saturday afternoon, for example, they were at piano lessons or they were at private English lessons or different school lessons. They maybe get further ahead in life or what they want to be. You know, they're doctors now, whereas I'm good at sport now. It depends what you want to be sometimes in life and how your parents mould and shape you. Like in Poland, there's a lot of music schools in the local town.
Yep.
So there's some kids that just go around with their vape machines, drinking Red Bull, going to the cinema. But then you have other kids learning to play different musical instruments.
Yeah, and compare the same kids after the same years.
Compare them and let's see where they go. But some probably hate going to that music school, but some would like to go to the music school. It all depends on your motivation. The person, that's what I'm trying to say is you can be pushed to do these things.
Yeah, but this is during the school time, because when somebody become an adult and started to work to some company, have a job,
you gain an opinion also.
Yeah, and also you started to earning your own money and you decide
what you spend it on,
how you want to spend it. Yeah, I also had piano lessons just for try because I wanted to, and when I have money, I thought that would be nice to see how it goes. Nice. Yeah,
and you did it.
Yeah,
and you can still play now.
I mean, I forgot
a bit a lot, rusty, you would say.
But I know a little bit theory. I wouldn't say a lot of, and I joined like half year.
Okay. Have you ever written your own music?
Yes, a little bit.
Cool. I've got a friend who does that. It's really difficult.
Yeah, it is, but it is also fine.
Quite fun, yeah.
But in general, I would say that you need to try to find your path. Yeah. Try to spend some money to some things that you think that you won't do it because it's like boring. Yeah. But when you started to doing it, you jump to some community and you see that these people are intelligent or something like this.
So a good advice to take from yours would be try new things. Yeah. Try new things and have a go and see if you like it. Yeah, I think have a go and see if you like it. That's a good takeaway point. So I think you said as well about mentors. They're important because they show you the correct path, but you can also become friends with these people as well. So it opens up new pathways for friendship. Contacts. Yeah. So I remember you were saying something about that. So contacts are important because you can grow as a person because you learn also from watching other people. And if you like what they teach you, maybe you can learn something else about them being from a personal point of view as well, like how they operate in everyday life. Like you could take things, how they do things and make them into your own.
And they will give you a lot of advices that you don't see. But when I was in secondary school, I wanted to be a programmer.
Okay.
But I didn't know anybody who is in this time. Mm-hmm. Now I know a lot of people because I'm inside this community, I would say. Yeah. But in this time, that was really important for me to get somebody like this.
And I remember this is a different topic a little bit, but it's very similar. There was a campaign in women's football a couple of years ago. I'm not sure if you saw it, but people might have saw it. And the campaign was all about that. If you can't see it, you won't believe it. And if you don't believe it, you'll never achieve it. Yeah. So like women footballers, if I said to you, you don't have to do this, so people on. If I said to you, name 5 football players, you'd name me 5 like that. If I said name 5 women football players, you'd be like, I think I've seen her before, and I think you'd have no clue. Mm-hmm. And if you can't, and how do you think young girls who want to be footballers, who want to try these things, how do they become that? Whereas only recently it's on the TV. I think English women won the World Cup a couple of years ago. Like, it's only just becoming a thing now in modern society. But men's football's been going on for years. So if you can't see something, you can't do it. But so it depends where you're from. Like, we're currently in a small town in Poland doing this podcast, and their outlook on life will be somewhere different than what someone in the centre of London might be. So they see a lot of things. School kids see a lot of things. Whereas school kids here don't see that much. So if you can't see it, how do you become it? But that's why the internet's now important. It's the gateway that it's all universal. And you, like you said, you can learn online.
You can type everything.
But when you were young, and especially when I were young, you know, the internet weren't a thing really. It was like CFAX, it was like teletext, the internet. I had a 56k modem, dialed up.
When I was in secondary school, it was impossible to have remote lessons.
If I wanted to go on the internet when I was younger to see the internet, I had to put a CD-ROM into the computer, go through a program which wasn't saved into my Pentium 1 processor, my 386 megahertz CPU, and I had to nobody could use the phone in the house, and I had to use dial-up internet. Now it's just bam, bam, bam. It's all different devices, casting,
phone, tablet, everything.
So it's much easier to gain information and gain advice on things. But you still need to be able to see it to become it. It's very important.
Yeah. But when I was younger, we only heard the adult people. That's from where we get these informations. But also now I'm checking the people who I work with, I would say.
Yeah.
Because I don't want to work with somebody who give me advice of the thing that he didn't do in life. So
but you can still learn a lot from people like that. So I've got elderly relatives who are like that, and they say you should do this, you should do that, even though they didn't do it themselves. But they're coming from a point of view of love, and they want you to do it. So I think you don't have to listen entirely, but it's good to follow people who get things. But it's also good to follow people who regret things and didn't do things.
In the case of regression.
Yeah, definitely.
But when somebody will give you advice, for example, how to provide a business, and they work all the time.
That's different. Yeah, they have no experience at all.
Exactly. So in the case of running, for example, you want to start run, you want to have a coach, and
I don't listen to someone who just eats burgers all day.
You will need to have a guy who run. Simply,
not a professional pie eater. You would say. Yeah, someone who eats like a professional kebab eater.
Professional kebab eater.
Yeah, I wouldn't listen to him for running advice.
I mean, that's...
if I wanted to get better at eating kebabs, I'd go to him first off, But no, I think we've covered some nice things there.
Yes. And consistency is crucial, as we...
that's the saying. That was the one where I forgot. Yeah. Consistency is crucial.
That's my sentence.
That's Bart's saying.
With practice.
That's it, yeah. Perfect practice makes
perfect practice makes perfect, and consistency is crucial.
Very good.
Yeah.
You will learn something.
Yeah. Exactly. So I think that's it for today.
No
Adam is English teacher, and he has couple free slots in his calendar. So if you want to catch with him and start to your learning English journey, which I fully recommend, check the links below in the descriptions.
Yeah.
In the description, everything will be there described.
Yeah, everything's linked at the bottom of the website, and different little blog stories, things like this. So yeah, a couple of free slots if someone's interested. Very flexible learning online, and everything's linked into everyone's profile. So thanks for listening to today's podcast.
Thank you, and see you in the next one. Bye.
Bye.